Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at Polybeat by the same developer who brought us Cycle. So we're using Cycle as well to do a bit of sequencing. Right, okay, this is very cool. So I reviewed this on Patreon, I think yesterday I did kind of a tutorial on it. But since then, I've discovered much more. Oh yes, it's very, very cool. Right, okay, so it's basically, it calls itself a polyrhythmic drum sequencer. Okay, before I start again, I'd like to say hello to everyone who's here in the chat. Hi Russ, hi Audible, hi Dave, hi Spider, hi Wall. Did anyone do this? Hi Chris, hi, is Stephen here? Hi Joe. Hello Joe. Is Stephen here? I didn't see Stephen. Hi Thomas. Yeah, anyway, so if Stephen's here, hello Stephen, but I didn't see him earlier on. But anyway, here we go. It's a polyrhythmic drum sequencer, right? So at the moment, it's set in MIDI mapping, general MIDI. I'm going to get into the MIDI mappings shortly. Okay, thanks, Dave. Right, so what we've got here is this. I'm going to turn down BS16 for a moment, and I'm going to turn down Synth Master. This is Ruse Maker. Just the standard one. And when you open Ruse Maker, the best thing to do is to set it to general MIDI like this. However, you don't actually need to do that, and I'll show you why. Open Polybeat here, and we have kick, snare, clap, top, and this is referring to the general MIDI settings on any drum machine that sends out MIDI on general MIDI. So we get this. Now at the moment I'm running this polyrhythmically, if you like. You'll see that there are 18 steps in this one, 16 steps in these next two, 17 steps in this one, and we can control the length of the sequence by moving this here. So if we take everything back to kind of standard, if you like, which is just, we've got 16 beats on one bar. I'm just going to press. And I'm going to, just for a moment, turn down Black Hole. Okay, so very cool. And then we can, of course, we can add bits and pieces. Now for each of these drums, for each drum you have all these different controls along the top, and this is independent of every single drum. So you'll see this top low will change color depending on which drum you have selected. So for instance, at the moment we're now on the kick. So if I hit randomize, which is this little dice here on the kick, it will randomize just the kick. Okay, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to put that back to what it was. And then the little dice next to it with only the two on is very minimal randomization. Okay, so you have lots of randomization, minimal randomization. But going from, let's go from left to right all the way through so you get an idea. And bearing in mind that these controls are independent for each and every drum, which is awesome stuff. So at the moment, let's take off these ratchets here. You'll see I've got some ratchets set on this hi-hat at the bottom, this closed hi-hat, and now it's all back to 1, it's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do is just fill up those. So it's basically, so now we're going to get, and I'm going to see this clap here. I'm going to take the ratchet down for that as well, and I'm actually going to take it out. So now we've got a very basic kind of a drum pattern, but you might notice that this is running at twice the speed, so you can control also the resolution. Right, now let's go from left to right like we said before we go any further. So let's start with the kick. We can take out the kick patterns altogether. We can put them back in, obviously. Okay, let's go to accent for this as well. So when you enter a note, now there's no velocity control on this as yet, and I think it would be brilliant to have velocity. That would be awesome. So that's something that they may add. So moving along, you have mute, so you can mute the track. solo it. And then the next one along, we'll go to this one first. The next one along is resolution. So we can go back to our 16th resolution. We can go to dotted. Double dotted. We can set tuplets. Now this is very cool. Hi Vortex. This is very, very cool because you can create some incredibly complex rhythms just with the basic 4/4/4/4 rhythm. So that's your resolution. Let's go back to our kick. We've done randomize. We've got shift, like so nudge backwards or forwards. We could go all the way back to normal, or we can go right. That's cool. So the next one here, where it says plus, we'll add another beat in, right? So, but just one, and now you're starting to get a polyrhythmic pattern which will completely evolve and change over time. Hi Brad. See this? We could add another one. And eventually it'll catch up with itself and then start again. But if I can put another couple of kicks in here. Now you're getting into some very interesting, and we can go, of course we can go minus those as well, but we can also shorten. So let's go, let's plus this back up to normal, or we can do it by hand. Why my drum disappeared, but there you go. Now the accent, we'll get to this in a sec. We've got one more. We can flip this. Flip it back, so. Or we can change its direction. Oh, I don't know, that's kind of like it must be like a randomize type thing, I'm not sure. Oh, no, I know what that does. What that does is, what it does is it flips the sequence from everything that's full. Right, here's the easy way to see this. If I fill in every one of these, and you'll see it on the first beat, you'll see that when I hit this flip one here, it's going to go to the second beat, like that. So okay, so that's pretty straightforward, and we'll make this a 4 on the floor, and of course we can add in some others if we want to. So moving along, this next one, the little asterisk things, that will literally double the length of the pattern. Okay, so you see where it says mid-tom now, because we're highlighted on mid-tom. We've doubled the length of that mid-tom now to its maximum. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that that's the maximum that we can go. We can't go any further. So I think it's limited to kind of 2 bars at the moment. You know, that may get increased, or there may be something I'm doing wrong, but I don't think so. So we can again take this one back. What are we doing? Let's go to the full amount and then go with this button will take, we'll see, it will continually divide by half till you're only left with one pattern. And then we can stretch that back out. So this is making it twice the length, but only for the highlighted pattern. This is dividing it by half, and we'll continue to divide it by half all the way down to 1 beat. Okay, so now you've still got like you can see, can't you, how you can build up super cool polyrhythms. You've got the resolution control, which is super useful, mutant solo, that's kind of thing. But you can flip it, and then you can shift the pattern. It's like a negative of the pattern, if you like, this one. So if it was the, I wonder what we'll do. So let's put some couple of claps in off beats here. Okay, and then moving down to this section here, the section underneath, we have several options: accent, ratchet, skip, chance, and offset. So let's look at those. First of all, let's look at we're highlighted on the clap, so let's go to ratchet. You kind of know what ratchet does. Ratchet will add in more hits on that particular step. So for instance, we could add in 2 ratchets on this second clap here, and that would sound like this. Or 3. Or 1. You can hear it best on hi-hats or kind of snares. We could put a snare there. Let's go to ratchet, and then let's just okay, so let's look at this snare, and let's look at the ratcheting on that. And for someone who asked a question earlier about step polyarp, it's nothing like step polyarp. Up to 5. Okay. And then if we look onto skip now, this will give us a kind of a way to skip beats over a particular number of steps. So bars, sorry. So we take our double snare hit here, and let's have that skip. And we'll skip this one, and then come in on this one. Good way to get variations on beats. And then obviously we can do it with 2s. Okay. So if we look at our closed hi-hats now, and let's go to chants this time, you'll see that for each of these there is 100% chance that they will play. But we can kind of mess with that, and we're going to get a variation on our hi-hat patterns now. But it's a variation, right? It's not like a chance. It's different. But what's nice as well is the offset. So let's go with the kick on the offset. The offset will give you that kind of boom bap approach. So it will shift your pattern a little bit either or, whichever drum you choose. So let's move this one here. And then accent, what accent does is literally just adds an accent. So if we were on snare and we wanted this one to be a little bit quieter before those 2, or these, they're still there, but now this is where velocity would be nice if we had velocity control, but no, we don't. So So that's the basics of it. I mean, and that's pretty much all you need to know. Once you've learned one line of it and understand what these are doing, and you'll see that the controls will get added. If we add a drum, we'll add another line here. So it's not like, you know, you've got to guess where it is, which is also very nice. It's not filled up and you've got to go, well, which one am I actually adjusting here? It's kind of done for you. And actually that would sound okay. So if we go to offset again, we can put that there. Go to our snare, go to our ratchet. Better. So that's the operation. Where it gets really nice, right, is at the moment, like I said, we're on, you'll see our mapping here says general MIDI. Well, watch what happens if I go into Rhythmic and I take off general MIDI key map. Okay, because when you're making MIDI, you want to make it in general MIDI, and then it will all work in kinds of things, because most things support general MIDI, right? But some things don't. And then, so the developer is very kindly map stuff. So what we've got now is, right, easy to show you again. General MIDI, and then it's gone because it's not mapping the same way. So if we go into our thing, you'll see it's on general MIDI. But if we go into MIDI mapping here, you'll see apps, hardware, scales, and custom. So hardware, you can map this to hardware. If you've got any of the following hardware, Arturia drum brute. I will try this with the drum brute in another video, I think. Electron analog rhythm. Digitact, Digatone, Volca drum, MFB 522, MFB Tansbar, Roland TR06, 08 or 09. If you've got any of those, these are already pre-mapped. And the developer has also said that the MIDI mapping is an ongoing process. So he will continue to add maps to the actual app. But if we go into apps here, you will see that he has got stuff going on for general MIDI, analog rhythm, Axon, Beatmaker, DM1, DM2, Digisticks, EG Pulse, Elastic Drums, FAC. We'll try it with FAC Drum Kit as well. Hammerhead. We're on general MIDI now, but he's also got it for Rhythmic. And once we select Rhythmic, we're not worrying about general MIDI now. Okay, so right. However, now our BS16 is not going through general MIDI, it's going through Rhythmic's MIDI map. So we need to do this. We need to go back to general MIDI because BS16 sends out general MIDI. So you know, it's cool because you can set things up exactly how you like. And also, when we go to this, if you're not sure but you know this, you can set up custom maps. Look, see. So you can set the CC to whatever's correct for your particular app. Also does scales as well. So, you know, you could probably run a sequencer through here and all, you know, if you wanted to. So that's it. So that's cool. You've got your apps and stuff like this. And then we know the general MIDI thing and what have you. Okay. So now I would like to, I think what I'll do is I will add another instrument to show you, and then I will continue with the tutorial for the app. So we have one here, which is basically doing a kick, and it's not rooted anywhere. It's just there. So I'm going to solo this and mute this and mute that one. So all we've got is Synth Master 2. I'm going to add an audio unit extension, and I'm going to add an, I'll have to look for it, an FAC drum kit. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to immediately route this FAC drum kit to Polybeat MIDI channel 1, but number 3, which is what it is here. So MIDI channel 1, 1, 2, and the third instrument in middle channel 1. So that's how you can keep track of your MIDI routings in AUM as well. So we're going to open it up here, and of course, it might work on general, it may actually work on general MIDI FAC, but we do have a actual we have a MIDI mapping for it, so let's use that, shall we? And this is now for FAC drum kit. Quite like that one actually, without messing around with the actual instrument at the moment. Has been played for this one now, so we can add a few more in. Let's add some let's see, what's this? Where's our out. So we've got a 4 on the floor kick going on. If we hit this now, this will give us our ability to add more patterns in per Polybeat. And this is another thing that confused me, but I quickly sussed it out. I thought there was a bug, but there isn't. If I want to, like, I've got this kick drum going on. If I want to copy this pattern, I initially thought I'd go in here and it goes copy pattern, paste pattern, but it's not. This is copying the pattern to the clipboard, which allows you to then repaste the pattern into a completely different instance of Polybeat, which I will also show you as well. So you don't do that there. If you want to duplicate your pattern, don't be looking at this and thinking copy pattern, and because it doesn't work. What you need to do is just long hold this A and you'll get duplicate, and it will duplicate the pattern for you, and then we can start to add in different patterns. And we could start to make some adjustments in a minute to the actual timing as well. So let's long hold this again, and we'll just duplicate that pattern. Or we can delete it now, we get another option. Or we can duplicate it. Now also on your MIDI keyboard, I don't know if you can see, but I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, but I don't know, maybe I need to hook this up to the key step. Let me see. So if I hook it up to the key step, yeah, I don't know if you can't see, but if I'm down on 0, 1, 0, 2, so 0, 1 to 0, 7 on your MIDI keyboard controls pattern changing. And then we're going to go into our duplicated one now. So let's add some stuff to this. So now we've got 3 patterns, and on what we'll do is we'll duplicate this one, and then we'll make some adjustments to say the, oh, I've just muted that one, so we'll make some adjustments to the timings maybe. And then that will be this because we duplicated it before we changed it, this just goes back to normal. But of course I can change the patterns via MIDI now. Okay, so that's how you do that. And basically, guys, that's all you need to do. You can set the mappings up for your different drum kits and stuff. The only one I did have a weird thing with was using it with accent, but we can have a look at that. But I'm not really sure because there is a thing for accent in here as well. So that's how you copy. Now, like I said, if you wanted to copy, right, let's pick a busy one, like this one, which is really busy. We go into our little menu now and we go, right, copy pattern. Pattern has been copied to clipboard. You can now paste this pattern into another Polybeat instance. We'll go, okay. We can close that one. Add another Polybeat here, which is going nowhere. It's just a fresh instance like this. And what we can do is then go, right, oh, okay, paste pattern. And I'll go, okay. And then it will paste. Well, it seems to have pasted in only, it's pasted the entire thing. Even better. It's made it's pasted the entire bank of patterns. Now that's really, really handy because it means that you don't need to copy and paste individual patterns if you wanted a direct copy of something to play along with another instrument, for instance. So now, like I said, we've got our FAC drum kit being played. Where's my Rhythmic going? M1. Alright, okay, so I'm going to choose Rhythmic here. If I can find it. Look at my eyes. Number 3. So you can see by doing it like this, you can build up all sorts of cool stuff with rhythms and things like this, and of course add in some synths and things, and away you go. Cycle now. His other app. Awesome. It's really good. So there you go. And I'm pretty sure the developer's good because he did add a load of stuff to Cycle, and Cycle has tons and tons of stuff going on. So he may well add Velocity, and Velocity would be, for me, would be the you know, that would be the icing on the cake. I think it's great as it is, but I think it needs Velocity, you know, because you could do Velocity ramps, all sorts of cool stuff. I want to just say as well, tomorrow night, it's the debut of the Delicate Giants. See that, Russ? I got it right. The Delicate Giants album from Russ 88, 89, and his cousin, of course, who owns guitar. So we'll be premiering at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So if you're around, you can come and have a listen. It's well worth listening, especially if you like prog and Pink Floyd. Russ has gone all prog. Okay. Brilliant. Guys, I'm going to leave it there because going any further with this is just going to be me repeating the same vibe over and over again. And you don't need to hear it for more than half an hour. Just remember, for each individual instrument, each individual drum, that you can use all these controls along the top, which we went through first at the beginning. Okay. Hi, John. How you doing? You can set ratchets, accents, skip beats, set chances, and do your boom bap thing and offset individual things. Each for every single, you know, for every single one of these instruments in the drum machine sort of thing. Your mappings are here. So you've, also, that's only going to swing the one we're on, but you have swing as well. You can also output to different MIDI channels. You know, you've done the clear copy pattern, paste pattern. There's a user manual as about. You can email a developer from here, which is always dead handy, to be fair, because some developers are more difficult to get in touch with than some others. His other apps will take you to Cycle, which is also very, very good for Cycle, for sequencing synthesizers. We will be doing another video. Actually, we'll do another video with Cycle sequencing some hardware gear, and also we'll use drum beat to cycle the drum brute Impact. Yeah, so that should be cool. We'll do that one night, one evening. So yeah, there's loads of cool stuff coming up. I think I've got no memory for it. I can only know as far as Think Tomorrow's, because it's the Delicate Giants album premiere. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a great album, by the way. It really is good. I know I did well, didn't I, Russ? The Delicate Giants. I didn't say the other one. Delicate Giants. I got Delicate Giants. I sometimes get confused with the Gentle Giants, who were a British prog band, but a hard British prog band. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you find it kind of straightforward from the beginning. It's not a difficult app. There's a lot of versatility within the app. It looks nice and simple, and that's a good thing, because it's not really hiding anything from you. You can just say, well, it's nothing too complicated. I can see that this is mute solo. I can see that that's my resolution per drum. Heavy randomize, minimum randomize, shift forwards, shift backwards, extend. This is a mirror image of the thing, and this is filling in the gaps. This is negative. It's making a negative of what was already there, sort of thing. Easy way to show that would be this, wouldn't it? So this button makes a negative of the actual pattern that's inside the drum. Right there. Guys. Yes, invert it. Thanks, Audible. Anyway, I will see you all tomorrow, where we're going to listen to The Delicate Giants from Russ, 88, 89, same time as usual. Bless you all. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, where we took a look at Polybeat and its sibling a little bit, Cycle, which is also very nice and very controllable too, for adding MIDI control to whatever. Synths and things. Anyway, I'll just play this, and I will see you all. I think it's raining. I'll see you all tomorrow. Ta-da.